Hello, everybody. Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Hello, hello. How are you on this fine Thursday? Thursday. The end of September. Good Lord. Where has the time gone? My gosh. Oh my gosh. Hello, hello. Say hello when you come in. So I know I'm not by myself. We are going to make a pretty flower. A flower, this one is no really theme. It's an everyday flower, and I'm going to do two different petals on it, and I'm going to be using poly burlap and the large Unique in the Creek board. But I have a few different centers, and I'm going to get your opinions on what we should use. Hello, so we are streaming to YouTube and Facebook, so hi both. Say hey. Oh, here we go. We got our peeps. Hello, hello. I'm never alone. Thanks, Bobby. Can count on you, right, girlfriend? All right. We're working good today. Hello. So, hi. Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay. So, I'm going to get right down to it because this might take a bit. So, I'm going to go down to the board. Here we go. Okay. You guys can see we're all good. So for today's flower, I'm going to be doing a neutral colored flower. Okay. So I will be using this brown and cream two-tone poly burlap, which is in our store. So if you want to go get it now. Before we run out, I'm going to be using the brown, and it's like a tweed, and a cream colored poly burlap. Both are in the store as of this video starting. Okay. Poly burlap, brown. It's a two-tone, and this cream. Okay. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use this sign. I'm kind of making this flower for gift giving. So I wanted to use something in the center that is, every day. So I thought this would match really pretty for an everyday wreath, or even the bling center. The gold silver bling center. Now the bling rope is up. We do have bling rope on our website, and we also have the half styrofoam balls and the U-pins and the pipe cleaners as of this video starting right now. Okay. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. We'll try out both. I am doing two different petals, like I said. So we'll have to see at the end which one will look better, the sign or the bling center. Hello, everybody. Dorothy Quakenbush. Hello. Hello, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm going to glue my cable mount onto the center of my sign, just in case I end up using that. So the easiest way to do that is put your pipe cleaner through the cable mount, so you have something to hold on to. And then I pull off this rubber foam thing, because sometimes it falls off itself, like it'll melt off, and then you'll lose your grip to the sign. So if we hot glue it and super glue it at the same time, it'll stay on. Hello. Hi, Lynn from South Dakota. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the outside of the mount, and then Gorilla Glue right in the center. So we got both. So the hot glue will do instantly, and the super glue will do it permanently. And I'm just going to stick this right in the center. And our signs do come with a pipe cleaner and a cable mount. So you just need to have glue. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side and let it dry. It's just a cute, simple sign. Just hello with, looks like cherry blossoms in a wood background. So I'm going to put this to the side. All right, so the first petal I'm going to do for Rose, I preloaded. Hello. Hi, Christy. I preloaded the large board. I preloaded normal holes on rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when I flip it over, this is what it looks like. So you can see there's no shared, I didn't use any shared holes yet. The only shared holes I might use is on row 5. And that depends on what center I end up using for it. Okay. So rows 2 and 3, I'm going to use this brown, I think. Or I might, rows 2, I might just do brown, and the rest I might do cream. We'll have to see. We'll have to see as we progress. So the first petal I'm going to do on row 2 with the brown. Hello, hello. Thank you for floating me over the falls, Vicky Spade. So the first petal I'm going to do is referred to as the Dean Michael petal, as she came up with it a long time ago. I also call it the single sunflower petal because a lot of people get confused. So it's Dean Michael or a single sunflower petal. This is a 10 by 10 poly burlap piece. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. It was great to meet you too. I love meeting everybody. I did wood burn my mesh, and if you don't know what that means, there is a couple videos on my YouTube channel under tips, tricks, and hacks on how to wood burn your mesh and how to heat seal your mesh. Okay, heat seal is with an impulse sealer, and wood burn is with a wood burning tool. Okay, so it's pretty easy and straightforward. So that is what I did, and that prevents the fray. Poly burlap will fray like nobody's business if you don't heat seal, which is like just burning the edge of it to stop the fibers from coming out and giving that stringy look. Okay, and a lot of our flowers, we don't want that stringy look, so that's what the trick is to wood burn or heat seal it. Okay, so I got it curl up. Curl up means it kind of rocks back and forth. Now, a lot of people, when they do their flowers now, they flatten, before they make their petals, they'll flatten their mesh overnight. So they'll put it nice and flat, stack it up, and put a book on it. That works. It makes just a much nicer petal. I ain't got time for that, so we just cut it. Okay. So what you're going to do is put it in a diamond shape. And I always make sure that my finished edge, for whatever petals I'm making, my finished edge is on the top left and bottom right. And it's really good to get into a habit of that, doing it like that, because sometimes you don't even realize that depending on what petal you're making, that it really makes a difference on where the finished edge is. So if you get in a habit of doing it the same way every time, then you don't even have to think about it anymore. Okay, so I'm going to take this top corner, or you can do the bottom corner, but I always go from the top. I'm going to bring it right down to the bottom corner and meet it up. Okay, I'm going to put a little clip on it or a clothespin just to keep the tip of it lined up. And then I'm going to match up the edges here. Just like that. Wow, I think I cut it almost in a perfect 10 by 10 square, which never happens. Okay, and then I flip it to the left because I'm right-handed. And what I'm going to do is kind of pull this poly burlap and pinch it in the center. And this is, I just want to make sure that I'm in the center. Okay, and to do that is if you pull it, it kind of brings the center right out for you. Okay. Hi, Pava. Hi, Pava. From California. I seen your name this time. Okay, now I'm going to scrunch 3 times this way, which is 1, or pleat, 2, 3. So I'm at the edge, and then I'm going to do the same this way. 1, 2, 3. Now there's these little corners sticking out. I'm just going to bring that around, bring the other one around, pick it up, and I'm going to flip it over. And that's my petal. Okay, now I'm going to stick my nub, I call this end the nub, right into the zip tie. Do the zip tie up, and you're going to, before you make it really tight, make sure the nub is in about a fingertip length from your fingertip to, your first knuckle here, and pull tight. Okay, so that is the Dean Michael or sunflower, single sunflower petal. So we'll do that again. 10 by 10 piece. You were in Niagara-on-the-Lake on Monday? Oh, Judy! Isn't it gorgeous? That's one of my favorite places. So I'm going down, meeting my corner again. I'm just going to put a clip on it just to keep, because the top corner is your most important part of this petal. So we want to, as much as possible, keep the 2 corners together. And we're going down the edge again, matching it up. Okay, again, I'm just going to kind of stretch it in the middle and pinch. I'm going to go pleat it 3 ways. 1, 2, 3. The third is being the edge of the petal. 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring these corners in, pick our petal up, and then I'm going to flip it over. And again, just stick it right into the zip tie. Fingertip and pull tight. Okay, so that is the first petal that we're going to use. Hi, Barbara Craft. I'm doing well today, honey. I did pre-make a bunch of petals, and to pre-make them, I've done it many times. As soon as you scrunch up your nub, so you got your petal finished, I take a little rubber band from the dollar store in the hair section, and I just go around the bottom so I can pre-make my petals. So I do this in my lap while I'm watching TV. You can also just use clips to clip it closed. All these are a little bit small because poly burlap is really, really thick. But you can use clothespins to pre-make your petals as well. No, I don't live in Niagara-on-the-Lake. I live in Niagara Falls. So once you got your petals all made, it's really fast to get your flower made. So I'm going to go around and stick in my petals. And this, like I said, is it's a two-tone brown. It's brown. Actually, with the whole flower would look beautiful with this, with a jute center, a jute rope center. Actually, I have jute rope center upstairs. But I'm going to add cream to my flower. This is, like I said, this is a great gift to give. Hello, Nancy. This is a great gift to give for an everyday. Like if you want to give a wreath and you don't want to give a Christmas or anything. You just want to give an everyday one that they can put up all the time. Something like this is perfect because we are going to look how nice that's going to look. Yes, if you can wear a mask, now not a COVID mask, you are burning plastic with poly burlap. Poly burlap is complete plastic. I've worked in the research facility for a long time, and I've seen what plastic can do. So you really don't, there's no statistics on burning mesh and stuff like that, but you really don't want to be inhaling the plastic fumes, and you can smell it when you're doing poly burlap. So you either need to have a very well ventilated area or do it outside, or you can wear a HEPA filtered mask, which I also have on my YouTube channel as well. Because here in Niagara Falls, in the winter, I don't have the luxury of going outside to cut my mesh. So I do have to wear a mask. Oh, a red rose. That's perfect for a birthday too. Okay, so I'm doing 16 of these brown ones. Now, if I just leave it brown, I have 3/4 of a roll still left of this. So I can do another flower with this brown. And if you noticed, because I folded my petals the same each time, I'm lifting up. This petal has the cut edge on the top, and the petal beside it has the finished edge. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting up and putting the finished edge over top of my cut edge side. So you really don't see it. It just makes it nice and neat looking. And that's what I'm talking about. If you cut your petals the same way every time, you'll get this really nice finished look. Hello from Iowa. All right. So we got the first row done. I'm going to actually have to bring you guys up just a little bit because this flower is kind of big. There we go. You can see a little better. All right. So now what I'm going to do is cut off the tails. And this is a zip tie gun. It actually pulls the zip ties and cuts them at the same time. So if you are a creeker and you love to use zip ties like me, this saves on your hands. I've had this for over 2 years. This one's a metal one. You just slide the zip tie into this little slit here, and there's teeth in there. And what the teeth do is grab the tracks on the zip tie, and it pulls it and cuts it and tightens it at the same time. I think they're about $14 on Amazon. This particular one, I have a link on Lori's Favorite Tools on my Unique in the Creek website. So if you go to uniqueinthecreek.com, go to Lori's Favorite Tools, there is my favorite zip tie gun. Well, that's the only zip tie gun I've ever had. Virginia, what kind of mask are you wearing, hun? If you have a fan right there, put it on. Any more help blowing that, because you guys see when you do poly burlap, there's a little bit of a smoke comes up. And I'm allergic to latex. And I find there must be some kind of latex in this plastic. We all know there's latex in rubber. Because I find when I am heat sealing or impulse sealing poly burlap, my skin gets itchy. So you notice I'm wearing a long sleeve. I have to wear long sleeves. And I also wear glasses because my eyes get itchy as well. So anything you can do to prevent that smoke from blowing it or going right straight up to your face, do it. Well, the decal, you shouldn't have bubbles, Valerie. If you've done the wet method and you've pressed it really well, there shouldn't be any bubbles. If you want to private message me, if you're having problems, you can private message me, and I'll see if I can give you a helping hand. Okay. All right. So I'm just doing the one row in the brown because the rest I'm going to do in cream. Now, I decided I was going to do row 3, which there's a number 3. There's just 8 of them, with the Dean Michael or the single sunflower petal fold on row 3 in the ivory. And row 4 and 5, I'm going to do different Nick Creticos, you just stopped me in my tracks, you handsome devil. How are you? Haven't seen you in forevers. See, now you got lost my train of thought. Are you still single? I still have a single daughter. Just kidding, Nick. Okay, so I'm putting this exactly in the same way as I did the brown. We're doing the cream. And then the rows 4 and 5, I'm going to do the lolly petal. Bum, bum, bum. Everybody hates the lolly petal, but it's so fun looking. So this is where, if you've seen flowers, a lot of people put like a window pane mesh or a different color mesh just to break up. So if you're doing a whole yellow sunflower, they might put a black and yellow window pane on row 3 just to break up the color. So if you see that, it's row 3 that they're doing it on. Well, most times. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more petals still to make. So I'm going to go over it again. You love the lolly petal. It's really pretty, but it's, I'll show you guys. It's not that hard. So I'm lining up my corner. Swing it to the left. Again, pulling right down the center just so I can see where the center line is. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fold over, and then you flip your petal over. Make sure it's nice and sculpted, and you're just going to stick it right in your zip tie. Easy, right? Easy, eh? Hello. Look at all my friends on YouTube. Hi. Again, corner to corner. Still, I always, like I said, I always have my top to the left, bottom to the right. And I'm sure you'll see people doing it all different ways, this petal, teaching it. It's whatever you're comfortable with. I find doing it this way gives me the same petal every single time. So it's quite uniform. And then we sculpt it out. Poly burlap, this petal is pretty much the only petal I like to do with poly burlap. However, I am doing a lolly petal with the poly burlap, but normally it's just a sunflower petal I do. Poly burlap's nice to work with because it's soft, but it is very finicky. And like I said, if you do not heat seal it or wood burn it, it's going to shred on you. All right, one more. Amazing. Well, thank you, Bobby. So it is pretty easy. Like I said, I do these, and I want to show you guys because I am disabled. I do a lot of my wreathing in my recliner so I can recline back, and I watch TV. I have this little cutting board. I should get some of these and sell them because they're hard to find. But I use this little cutting board pretty much for everything on my lap. So I'll put this on my lap, and then I'll just sit and I'll make my petals. But you could even use a cutting board from like the dollar store or whatever. Anything, even a piece of wood. I sit and make my petals. You know, I'll have my elastic bands in the cup holder of my chair, and I'll sit and make my petals and throw them in a box and have them ready to go for my live. So I don't have to sit in my craft chair as long, and that way my back won't hurt as much. So I like to sit and make petals. I could do it all day long if I was allowed. Okay, so we're done that. We're going to cut the zip tie tails off. You can also use, if you bought one of our Unique in the Creek kits or all-in-one kits, you would have got wire nippers like this. And these are in our Christmas tree kits and some of our VIP kits. And I believe the poinsettia kit has them. And you just go right down to the head of the zip tie, and you can actually even pull it a little bit tighter with this if you just don't squeeze as hard and just pull and then snip. So these are pretty handy, and they're supposedly like single use. They last quite a long time. All right, we are on to the lolly petal. Are you guys ready? Yeah, this mat was 16 by 10. Yeah, 16 by 10. It's just small, but you can use, like, I used to use just a piece of board that I had laying around. And then I moved on to like just a cutting mat from the dollar store. Alrighty, the lolly petal. Now, the lolly petal. Now, I'm going to do my lolly petals kind of big. And the lolly petal looks like a spoon, right? It's rounded and kind of scoops. We're going to do the same thing with the edge. Now, with the lolly petal, you really don't have to worry about heat sealing because you can see that you don't see any of the cut edges. So you really don't have to heat seal if you're planning on doing like a whole flower in lolly petals. That will cut down your time a lot. I heat sealed mine because I was cutting mesh for these petals anyways. So what you're going to do for the lolly petal, again, curl up. We're going to take the corner down. Again, just like the Dean Michael, we're going to pull right in the center. Okay, so this is what we have. It looks like almost like a stingray. Pull it in the center. Then let's see if I can figure out how many inches. 26, 20. So if you go about 3 inches from the corner, I'm going to bring in this edge here and the other edge here. So I'm pinching it like this. And then I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to bring it around like this. And then this one exactly the same. Now, you can see that it makes a spoon, and you'll have to sculpt it and everything. The smaller, the more you, okay, how do I explain this? If I brought this corner right down to meet the middle corner, and same with the other one, and scrunched it, you can see my spoon, my little formation is a lot smaller. Okay, a lot of times you'll see people making the lolly petal and they're tiny, and they'll put the elastic band and cut this off. The farther you move this right and left corner down the center, the smaller your lolly petal will be. So we're going to just bring the edge in. So if I brought this corner just to here and the other one just to here, I'm making a whole different kind of look of the petal. But I bring it about, like I said, 3 inches. I'm going to do about 3 inches down. So if you had your petal on a cutting mat, and I don't measure, I'm just for teaching purposes, I'm just showing you guys. So if I bring my corner down 3 inches from the bottom to the sides, that's how big my lolly petal will be. And because I want each petal the same size, it's kind of good if you can measure or have some kind of dimension or like increment to work on. That way you'll know if you do 3 inches, put the corners 3 inches up from the tail, each lolly petal will probably be the same size. If you decide to do the corner right down to the bottom and scrunch, then your smaller lolly petal will be each the same size. Does that make sense? Or did I lose anybody on that? Okay, and then now I've pre-made some so you can see that they're pretty much going to be all the same size. And what I'm going to do is stick it right in to my zip tie, and I want to make sure that those corners that are on the sides here are in the zip tie, and pull it. This is more, we want it more rounded. This one went more square. And then why it went more square is because the corners are on the top of the tail and not on the side. Try that again. This one does take some practice. So if you're just a beginner, work your way up to this petal. There we go. See, it went more square because I had this corner more on top. And it's a good look too. So if you like the more square look, like I had, you just need to put the tails kind of on top. Do you see how that's more of like a scoop and not a spoon? Okay, but I want mine more round. So I'm just kind of making sure that the two side ones are at the side and not at the top, and that it's rounded. This one wants to stay squared. So we'll get them in and then we'll sculpt them. Now, of course, you can continue your flower with the single sunflower Dean Michael petal, or mix and, change it up, because you make a whole different look, a whole different flower look if you change up the petals a little bit. So I've never done one like this, so I don't know quite what it's going to look like. So, well, hello and welcome, Neva. I'm Lori from Unique in the Creek, and we are making an everyday flower if you want to make like for a gift before we get knee deep into Christmas season. So my lolly petals are quite large, and they will overlap, so you won't see the gaps in here. Most people do smaller lolly petals, and they'll use like shared holes and stuff. There is a couple YouTube videos on my channel doing the lolly petal, and on my YouTube channel as well, I do go over in depth each petal. I think there's about 18 petals I go over close up in depth on how you make it or how you fold it. Hello, hello. Some of these I have my elastic a little bit too high. There we go. Now the inner on row 5, I will probably make smaller lolly petals. We'll see how it looks. Yes, we have lots of new people these days, and I love that. Welcome. You'll find that we are a very friendly bunch of gals, and we do have a sister group if anybody's interested. It's a free group. It's called Unique Wreath Creators, and it's all about Unique in the Creek wreath boards and what people have made on them. And I'm telling you, it blows my mind. And I invented these. So just answer the questions, and it's like a little family in there. So answer the questions, and we will be happy to have you in there. I think this is going to look really cute, guys. What do you guys think? It's my last one here. So I did do them big like this because, as you can see, they're touching. I did want to make sure that each petal was touching the next petal beside it, so I didn't have any gaps. Okay. Cut these off again. Okay, so I probably could leave it here, but I won't. Look how cute that is. I'm going to put another row in row 5. Now, if I use the sign, I only need to do 4 of them, okay? Because the sign is 8 inches. And look how super cute that is. And we have a lot. So if we did it just like this with an 8-inch sign, with 1 roll of cream and 1 roll of brown, you'll be able to make 2 flowers, okay? So if you want to make something like this, buy 1 roll of each color and 2 signs and 2 boards, because you'll be able to make 2. Now I'm going to add, just in case I want to do the bling center. Look how pretty that is. If I want to do the bling center, I'm going to have to do all of row 5. So I'm going to do all of row 5 because I don't know what I'm going to be picking. So I'm going to just cut off these excess tails so we don't have so much bulk in the center here. You love it, Jean? You love everything I make, Jean, no? And thank you for that. Yeah, don't be scared to mix petals, and don't be scared to mix different meshes together. And this is kind of what happens when you don't heat seal polybromide. It just shreds. Okay, since I am going to be I'm going to be doing 8 pieces in row 5. So normally these are the normal holes. So there's 4 on row 5. But I'm also going to be putting a zip tie from here to here and using what we call shared holes, because there's already a zip tie in here in this hole. So we're going to put another one and use this hole. So that's just what we called shared holes. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 in. Now I'm probably going to I'm going to make these, I think. Well, actually this size is good. So I'm going to keep them the same size as these ones. Definitely going to have to cut the excess tail off here. And I do have to make some more of these lolly petals. So if you're just joining us, I'm going to be doing it again. Now I really like these neutral colors. Like I said, the neutral colors are perfect for gift giving when you don't know a color scheme. All right, so we need to make a few more of these. Oh, that's going to be pretty. This is the gold silver bling rope. And I sell them in 5-yard or 5-meter increments. And one package will do a 5-inch half ball. So the 5-inch half balls come in packages of 2, and they're already cut in half for you. And then there is on my YouTube channel how you make this bling rope center. So it's just pretty much starting in the center and just going around with glue. But isn't that gorgeous? And these are actual rhinestones. They're not glitter, they're rhinestones, and that's why it's so shiny. So that's we got black and silver, we got black, we got just silver, we got gold and silver. And I think we still have a few other colors. Okay, so pull, side in, I'm bringing the edge down about 3 inches from the bottom, and then the same as this side. And you want to make sure both are even, so your spoon thing is even. So believe it or not, when I used to make, I don't do it so much anymore, but when I used to make flowers, I would make the petals. I would even build the flower in my recliner as well, because once the petals were made, all I had to do was slip them all in. So it is great for those of you like me with bad back and can't sit very long. And this flower does get pretty big. And the nice thing with poly burlap, it lets you kind of sculpt. I was going to put a little bit of pink in here because pink is like my favorite color. But then I decided just to keep it neutral because I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I might have to just give it away. All right, so those are the 4 main holes. Okay, and I still could probably get away with just like that. But I'm still going to add more because I don't want to see this space here. Not that you're going to see it with this sign, but you will if you put the bling center in, right? So we're going to go and do the shared holes, which is going down and then back up. Do your zip tie up till you hear the zip. There you go. And don't bring it really tight to the board because we want lots of space between the board and the zip tie to work with. So just do it till you hear that zip. Okay. Yes, poinsettias with poly burlap is really pretty too. And the time has almost come, guys, for the red foam poinsettia I made. You guys have been dying and messaging us like crazy and my shipment is coming in. So that will be soon. All right, so we're going to do 4 more petals. Just excuse me 1 second, okay? I'm just going to grab my drink. I'm not sure where I put it. I found it. Sorry about that. I'm thirsty from all that talking. Look at these amazing that I got at Hobby Lobby for a poinsettia. So a cream poinsettia with these balls. Oh my gosh. That's all I have to say. I may or may not be doing one. Oh, and here's the green. That's the two-tone like the brown. I just happen to have that all by my drink. Yes, Lynn. I think I might do a kit with the foam poinsettia. Since I got a lot of stock. All right, let's do 4 more. So you can go pretty fast once you get the hang of how to do it. Now that just filled in that gap there. So I'm kind of going over top of the ones that we just put in. Yes, the foam poinsettia tutorial will be released soon as well. We didn't want to release it without anybody being able to actually get the foam, because then that just causes massive hysteria. So isn't this pretty when you mix and match the different petals? I know a lot of people do the Sarah flower, which is the Dean Michael single sunflower petal, and the rose in the center. That's really pretty as well. A lot of people do that in the spring. Yeah, the foam poinsettia is going, if you haven't seen the picture, search it on our Facebook page, because I did post a picture when I finished the tutorial, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And you don't have, there's no frays, you don't have to heat seal. One more and we're done. I don't know. I'm kind of, look at that bling center. Kind of loving the gold and silver bling center. I don't know. And the nice thing with these is if I get tired of the bling center, I can switch it out, because I'll show you how easy it is to put the centers in on the Unique and Creek board, because you just kind of pipe cleaner them in. And then you could switch it out for a sign later on if you want. So I could put maybe like a country-ish Christmas sign in the middle of this when it gets more near Christmas time. Alrighty, we are done. I think that I like using the different petals together. What do you guys think? So I will flip it over so you guys can see. So row 1 is if you want to use green. So I could use some green. I don't think I'd like it, but let's try it anyways. So I'll put a piece of 2 green leaves on it and we'll see what it looks like. So I'm just going to do the leaf petal. Just scrunch it, flip it up. I'm just going to go under my board and go around with the zip tie. And maybe I'll do another green right across. See what it looks like. So actually, if I keep the green leaves on, we've done 3 different petals on this flower. We'll pop that in the hole there, and we have nothing to scratch the door, or we don't need to cover up any mess. So there's row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5 looks like stitching because we did shared holes. Oh, the green actually does look a little nice. Makes the wreath bigger, but the green, I kind of like it. What do you guys think? And if I was going to put the sign in, but I think I'm going to use the bling center because I'm really loving it. But if I wanted to put the sign in, I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, and there is 2 holes right in the center. You just have to kind of dig through. There we go. Move your ends here. And oops. It's probably the hardest part of the wreath is digging through the poly burlap here to get the hole. There's one. And then you're going to go to the other side. There's the other one. And I don't want to pull it right down. I'm just going to twist. So there you go. That's with the sign. That's really pretty. I think if I did all Dean Michael, I probably would have definitely used the sign. But because I put some lolly petals in, I think the bling center is going to look better. So I'm going to switch it out. And that's what I mean about switching it out. So you could just put your pipe cleaners back down the hole and don't glue them. And then if you wanted to switch out your center on your flower, you could just undo your pipe cleaners. Dave hates when I tell people this. And switch it out. So again, I'm going to do the same thing with my center. So my center has got a it's got 2 floral pins in it with the pipe cleaner and hot glue on top. And we're just going to go down. Yeah, I think the bling too. The green is I'm just waiting for this glue to dry. The green is like a tweed as well. It's a 2-toned poly burlap. I think I got it in green. I got the brown. I got pink. I'm not sure what other colors I got. So if you just go on to uniqueinthecreek.com, type in poly burlap in the search, and whatever we have left for poly burlap will be there. I know I ordered a ton of cream because I want to do a cream poinsettia, which I better take some off because I want to do a cream poinsettia with these cheetah balls. Right? Won't that look amazing? All right, let's go back down again. So this would probably match, like I said, anybody's decor because it's neutral. Now, the little trick is if you slide it off your table, you can see the holes. You can see the light through the holes, and it's a little easier to find them. There we go. Oh, look how pretty. Isn't this pretty, guys? I did heat seal my mesh. It is poly burlap. Oh, what do you guys think? Thumbs up if you love it. I love it. So we're going to give it a twist. And I'm just going to go down the holes just so there's nothing to scratch it. And I'm not going to glue them in because I may want to change the center. All right, and while I have it flipped over, up at the top, there's 2 holes just by themselves here. Those are our hanging holes. And I just go down, and I always use a zip tie because I have zip ties available right in front of me. So, but you can use wire, you can use wire, you can use ribbon and make a ribbon hanger. I just use a zip tie, lock it, and cut it so they have something to hang it. And there you go. That is our flower using the lolly petal and the Dean Michael single sunflower petal. Brown, tweedish poly burlap and cream poly burlap. And there we go. I think I'm going to leave the green on. I think it's really pretty. I know, isn't this gorgeous? Gorgeous. All right, let me pull you guys up and I'll hold it up. Hello. Look at that center. So when the sun hits that, that's going to bling. So you can see the rhinestone. And this is the gold silver. I know, I like the green too, just a little bit. I just put 2 leaves. Beautiful, eh? So if you want it not as flat, because this will fit between 2 doors, if you kind of go around and cup your petals like this, your flower won't be so flat. So some people like it more 3D-ish. And all you have to do is go around and kind of fluff up your petals a bit. But in this flower measures to be, with the green leaves, about 30 inches in diameter. So 30 inches. It's big. So I'll take a picture of it on my door so you guys can actually see what 30 inches on the door looks like. It's actually the perfect size for a front door. And the flower wreaths are very popular. Very popular because they're different and they match everything. Personally, I always have a flower wreath on my door. I don't have really the ribbon ones and everything. Alrighty. So I hope I got your creativity and your mind stirring on what you can do. And like I said, if you want to check out Unique Wreath Creators, it's a free group. There is all creekers in there. It's only about Unique and the Crease wreaths. And we kept it like that because there's many, many groups out there, you know, for the wire frames and everything. And there's people that just like the Unique Creek board. So you're welcome to join that. It's amazing what people are making in there. Seriously. And everybody shares. Everybody shares their talent and how they made it. It's just unreal. Okay, everyone. Have a great rest. Oh, I did that in less than an hour. And I talk a lot. Not bad, eh? All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. VIPers, if you're watching, I will see you guys tonight at 8 o'clock. We have our wreath critique and our freebie getaway. Don't forget about the getaway. So in the VIP group, if you're in there, make sure you go comment. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.